and Joseph, our forefathers, built these pyramids. The Israelites built these pyramids for the Egyptians and other treasure cities. Read on.
For before Abram came into Egypt, they were unacquainted with those parts of learning.
Till Abraham came to Egypt, the Egyptians didn't know nothing. They didn't have no knowledge of arithmetic, or history, or science, or none of this that we talk about. Read on.
For that science came from the Chaldeans.
They call us Chaldeans because we descended out of Abraham, out of the land of the Chaldeans. That's why they call us that. Read on.
Into Egypt, and from thence to the Greeks also.
And this from the Greek to the Greeks also. All right. Now we're going to go from there to show you that we built the treasure cities, the Exodus. And while I'm showing you this, I would like to flood you with a whole lot of different pictures of how the Israelites look. Because a lot of you have a misconception that these little white rats that's over there in Israel today that's leaning up against the Wailing Wall and talking Yiddish, German and Greek and Poles dialect of Hebrew, which is not Hebrew. It's called Yiddish. It's not Hebrew. The ancient Hebrew is written in hieroglyphics. The ancient Hebrew spoke with flat sounds and flat syllables. Not all this Greek and Poles, German and Poles dialect that they got today. The white man is running around calling himself a Jew, is a convert to Judaism in the 8th century. He's not a Jew. We cleaned them up under Constantine and taught them the knowledge of our customs because the Arabs was trying to use them to come against the Byzantine Empire. So we sealed them up and taught them our doctrine and made them come on our doctrine because the Arab world was dominating when Muhammad came about in the 6th century BC. He sealed up all the dark nations under Mohammedanism, Islam. And any dark nation that didn't fall under that Islamic garbage, he cut their heads off and killed them. He was subjected Israelites under that garbage, Islam, which is a religion. The Lord is not dealing with religion. The Lord is dealing with nationality. And he gave us laws to abide by and uphold and to keep. So when Muhammad came out in the 6th century BC, this little punk and homo that leaped off this wall, or leaped out of this building, tried to take his famous leap into heaven, fell down to the earth and broke his legs. He's not no leader. And the Mosai is going to subject all these dominations, all these denominations, all these different nations under us in the end. This is why Christ is coming back to the earth, to put all nations under his feet and to uphold and upheld his nation, which is the Hebrew Israelite that the Bible speaks of. Now we're going to show you that we built the cities in Egypt. Read on.
This is Exodus, the 1st chapter, verses 1 through on down. Now these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man in his household came with Jacob: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls.
That's right, 70 souls went into Egypt after the time of Joseph, and during the time of Joseph, living in occupied Egypt. Joseph raised up to be a great leader in Egypt under the Pharaoh, under Ramses I, a great leader. Read on.
For Joseph was in Egypt already, and Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now there arose a new king over Egypt.
This was Ramses II that came after Ramses I, after the death of Joseph. Read on.
Which knew not Joseph, and he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass And when they fall of any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us.
So they came against the Israelites in Egypt, and they came against us to destroy us. And that's when we started multiplying. We multiplied, became a great nation. And then the Lord raised up Moses and Aaron to deliver us out of the land of Egypt. And we dwelled in the wilderness for 40 years. But we're going to maintain ourselves right here in Egypt for a little while and show you some of these pictures that's in many of the records in the books that we have. Okay? So we're going to go from here, and we're going to prove that Joseph was a Negro, so-called of Negro descent. And we're going to show you a book called, believe it or not, show you a book called, the cameraman could zero in on this. We have a book called Joseph and His Brothers by Thomas Mann, Joseph in Israel. And we're going to see what this book has to say. We're going to see what this book has to say concerning Joseph in Egypt. What is he, because Joseph was an Israelite. He was a Hebrew Israelite. Right? He came from the tribe of Ephraim, by the way. It says Joseph in Egypt. Now, if Joseph is a Hebrew Israelite, which we clearly plan to show here in this segment of the taping that we're doing for our people, the question is, how can the white man, being a so-called European, be a part of the hereditary tribes and the aboriginal tribes of the nation of Israel once we show you the ethnic background of Joseph and his nationality? We want to know, how can black and white be of the same nation? Joseph in Egypt. So by Thomas Mann. And Joseph and his brothers, that's what it's dealing with. And distinctly Joseph in Egypt. Now we're going to go to page 340, and we're going to have the camera zero in close, and we're going to read a paragraph here of the description of Joseph in Egypt and what he looked like. The camera just zero in. This is fairly big print. And we're going to show you what Joseph looked like according to Thomas Mann, a book called Joseph in Egypt. Where my hand is over here. I can read this clearly from there. The writing is distinct pretty much. It says, I'm going to start from right here. The recipient. I'm all the books still. Right there. What's it, okay. Follow me closely. The recipient of these plaudits had thin, childish torso. All right, now let's go up to the top of the page where it says Pharaoh. I better make sure I get it all in. I better go back to the bottom of this thing to get the first line of where it began at. All right. Let's see where I want to start from. I want to start from the complete sentence. Thus was Amenhotep.
That was
Amenhotep, the godlike offspring, heir to the throne and crown. When he drove in front of him, when the hymn is talking about Joseph, should have decided to mingle with the son, Pharaoh's only son, because Pharaoh classified Joseph like his son, just like we tried to classify Moses as being his son, child of his old age. Here's Joseph. See it right there? Here's Joseph, the recipient of all those plaudits. The plaudits means Joseph received a lot of recognition in Egypt, a lot of applause, highly recognized as a wise man and a great figure in Egypt. Had a thin, this is when he was a kid, had a thin child torso. It said childish torso. But it says nude save for the arm rings and jewel necklace. Because in some pictures you see where they just had an apron on and they showed their body, their stomach and their chest, and they had a necklace around the neck.
You don't have to move it because I just got it right in the middle.
All right, the servants of Egypt. His apron kilt